NCERT because I don't have the notes for that chapter right now. Shall I continue with human health for now? And then from the next class, I'll begin with that chapter.
Ma'am, we already started with this chapter, so we'll just continue with this chapter later on if we have time.
Which one?
Ma'am, we'll complete this chapter first for now.
So then why are you telling me to start that chapter? Hmm?
Because if we completed that,
Switch on your video and speak a little clearer. I can't hear you. What are you saying?
ma'am, if we completed that chapter quickly, we can start this one, right?
What?
Ma'am, if we complete that chapter quickly, we can start this one, right?
If we complete that chapter quickly.
Yes.
Acha. See, again, the notes are not there. If you want to study from NCERT PDF, more than fine, I'll start it with you. But the notes are not there. Okay. So either I can start from NCERT PDF or start writing the notes and then teaching you. What about it?
Ma'am, it's okay. We'll start with this chapter.
Are you facing any troubles in that chapter? Is that chapter is not coming for your test now?
No, ma'am, it's not there.
Only principles and this thing molecular basis is there.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now you anyway do not have to learn that chapter. If had it been there in the syllabus, then I would have started it. But I'm like, if it's not there, then you can study this chapter first and that next. That can also happen. What's it?
Yes.
All right. So what is the last thing you've written?
Ma'am, I didn't write anything. You just gave a small intro on what it's
Of
going
human
to be.
health.
Yes.
You haven't written anything.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Then just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, okay? All right. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am. You.
Okay, switch on your video. We'll start with microbes only because you haven't written anything, then it gives us a benefit. You can start with a new chapter. All right, so microbes in human welfare is the chapter. What is the chapter number in NCERT?
Chapter number is after evolution, ma'am. That
So
evolution unit.
microbes in human welfare. Now see, we when we study human health and disease in that chapter, we understand how the microorganisms they mostly cause diseases, right? They are detrimental to us and our health, and they are very particular in causing a lot of diseases. Now, microbes such as the bacteria, the viruses, the fungi, these all are disease causing also, but they have several applications as to being beneficial to humans. So it's not that they'll only be detrimental, they'll be, you can say, beneficial to us also. Okay, and they are
Ma'am,
beneficial.
what is exactly meant by microbes? Ma'am, what exactly is microbes?
Student, you're asking me what is microbes? What is microbe? You only tell me microbes means microorganisms which
Ma'am,
contain
is it the bad kind or the good kind?
microbes is microbes. It's a common term. Microorganisms means microorganisms. Out of those microorganisms, some of them are beneficial to humans and some of them are detrimental to humans. Clear? So that is microbes. Microbes means microorganisms. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So microbes, they basically, if you think about the whole entire population of different organisms on the face of Earth, there are plants, there are animals, and then there is a major chunk that is made by the microorganisms. Okay, and the thing is that microorganisms are very, very diverse. They are found everywhere. Okay, so we can say that microorganisms are microorganisms are one of the major components, one of the major components of biological system on Earth. Okay, because like there are millions of microorganisms that have not yet been discovered also, but they are very, very important because each one of them have their own particular function. So microorganisms are one of the major components of biological ecosystem. Okay, so now what all organisms come under that? You have bacteria, which is a microbe. Then microorganism, you have fungus, okay, fungi. Then there is your viruses. All of these are microorganisms. Microorganism means these are microscopic organisms. They're very, very tiny, cannot be seen with like naked eye. Other than that, you also have protozoa. Protozoa are also
Ma'am, are
micro.
these pathogens?
Hmm?
Are these
Yeah,
pathogens?
majority of them are pathogens, but then again, some amongst them are not pathogen, instead they are beneficial. Clear?
Yes.
Hmm. Now, see, when we talk about the microorganisms, they are very, very abundant. Abundant means that they are present almost everywhere. Okay. So when we talk about microorganisms or microbes, so microbes are abundant. Okay, which means that they are found almost everywhere. Like the places that you can't even think of, they are found there also. So they are found almost everywhere. If you think about it, they are found in the soil. Okay, for example, let's write the examples of where you'll find these microorganisms. So you'll find them in the soil, you'll find them in the water, okay, you'll find them even in the air, then you'll find them in these things, what do you call it, hot springs where the temperature can be as high as 100 degrees Celsius. So they are found in hot springs. Okay, they are found on the mountains, and they are even found inside plants and animals. So when they are infecting the plants and animals, they are found inside them also, right? And there are many organisms that have the bacteria in their gut. For example, us humans, we also have E. coli bacteria in our intestine. Cows and buffaloes, they also have bacteria in their gut. So they are found almost everywhere. And because of their cellular nature, they can resist very harsh environment also. Clear?
Yes.
Now see, let us talk about where these microorganisms could be used. Now see, one more thing. You remember when we were doing that experiment in molecular basis chapter, we saw how the colonies are developed of microorganisms like bacteria. Remember?
On the cultural plate.
The S strain, yeah, the culture plate or the Petri plate, like S strain, R strain colonies were there. So for example, if you take a bacteria, okay, Any, like you take your loop, like there's a needle, like loop like this. Structure is there. So with that, you pick up the bacteria and this is a petri dish. Okay. So with this loop, you spread it like this. Whatever bacteria was there in it, you spread it, like you spread it onto the media. Okay, so this is a media containing petri dish. Now see, obviously, like for example, if you want to grow bacteria or any microorganism in a lab, okay, how will you do it? First of all, if you want to grow anything, you have to provide the nourishment source. You have to provide the optimum living condition, isn't it? So media is that nutritional requirement of any microorganism. Okay, you provide media so that they can have carbon source, they can have nitrogen source, they can have iron source, meaning all the necessary things that they need, it will be there in the media. Now you will keep it at the optimum temperature. For example, you will keep it at 28 degrees Celsius for one day, meaning 24 hours. After 24 hours, you will see that this particular plate, petri dish that you spreaded the bacteria onto, this would look very different now. This is your petri dish. Now you will see colonies. Big circular structures are going to be seen on the petri dish, which represents colonies. And it's not separate. Sometimes they can be like this also at one place like this.
Does it look like mold?
Moles are different. Moles are even bigger. These would look like how, have you seen Orbeez? Those beads that you put in the water and they become bigger in size?
Yes.
Yeah. So when they are that tiny, the ones that you're not in the water, that tiny, that's the size of how the colonies usually appear. Now the colonies can have different morphology. Like sometimes you can see shiny colonies, sometimes you'll see rough colonies, sometimes you'll see white color, yellow color, different colors would be seen. Is it clear? So these are
Yes.
the colonies of the microbe on the petri dish. Any doubts? So always remember, in order to make the colonies, you have to choose a certain, you can say, nutritive media, and then only you can propagate the microorganisms. Clear? Any doubts?
Ma'am, what could be the media? Anything?
No, no. Media is specified. There is a lot of like, there is like nutrient agar media. Okay, I'll write some examples. Okay, some examples of media used. Like, for example, there is nutrient agar media. Okay, then there is your this thing, potato dextrose agar media. Okay, so different kinds of media are there. Okay, potato dextrose agar media. Same way, there are like thousands and thousands of media that are available, which are specific to every microorganism that you're growing. You should know what is the requirement of a particular microorganism, and then only you will use any of the media and propagate your microorganism. Okay? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, microorganisms are useful to us as well. Okay, they are useful to us as well. Okay, in various fields. Like it's not just one place that you could use them. They are useful to us in various fields. Now let us see what are those fields. First, like the different fields that we have to talk about. So the first one is in like the microbes, they are used in household products. Okay, there's household products. So you can get a lot of products by their chemical reaction, which they can cause. Okay, as a result of it, you'll get products. Then they are used in industrial products as well to make industrial products. Industrial products are there. Then they are also used for sewage treatment. Okay, sewage treatment. Sewage is like the wastewater. So to treat that, you can utilize the microorganisms. Okay, so apart from that, they are also used for production of biogas, which is an inflammable gas. So production of biogas also requires it. And this is like the products that you're going to get out of them. Apart from all of these things, you can also use different organisms as a biocontrol agent. Okay, so they are also used. Apart from this, they are also used as number one, biocontrol agent, and they are also used as biofertilizers. You know what fertilizers are?
Yes,
What are they?
they help in the growth of the plant, like
How?
they make the soil fertile.
Hmm. Yeah, they
Like,
increase the nutrient content of the soil, right? Thereby making the soil more fertile, better nutrient availability to the plant, and thereby plant utilizes it and flourishes. So this much is clear. So, like for fertilizers, usually we rely on the chemicals. But when we are talking about biofertilizers, so you talk about those microorganisms that are used to make fertilizers, which will not cause any kind of pollution as well. Okay, these many things are clear to you.
yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? Anything you want to ask?
No.
All right. So the first category we're going to discuss is use of microorganisms. The only difference is that, if I had made the notes beforehand, like before teaching you, it would have been more colorful, more interesting. I would have added more pictures to it. Right now, it's just monotonous. But anyway, so use of microorganisms to make household products. Can you name something if you remember? Microorganisms are actually used everywhere.
Curd,
Yeah,
yogurt.
the best example is curd. Now, curd is one of, and it has been being made ever since, you can say, so long back. It's not something new or not something new that has been developed. All like our mothers, our grandmothers, they have been doing it since time immemorial, right? We don't like they basically they don't even know how it is called, isn't it? The scientific basis, but still it
Yeah.
has been done from really long period of time. So now we know properly that what is the causative organism behind it, how is it happening. So when we talk about curd, so it is formed from the partial digestion, or the coagulation of milk. And how is it done? It is done by your lactic acid bacteria or lactobacillus. Okay. So, and they are very commonly called as the lactic acid bacteria. Now, if I were to ask you, like, which one is healthier alternative? Is curd healthier or is milk healthier? What would your answer be?
Ma'am, milk.
Curd. Curd is more nutritious. Why? Because, like in terms, like whilst the bacteria is acting on the milk, partially digesting it to make curd, during that time, the vitamin B12 content increases a lot. So in the curd, there is more vitamin B12, which is very, very important for our gut health. That is why curd is lighter on the gut, and it is healthier alternative than milk. Milk is
Ma'am,
good
does
also.
it contain fat?
Curd,
Yes, like high amounts of fat.
yeah, it does have fat, but less than milk. Milk has more fat. Yeah. So when we talk about the curd, so it is formed from the partial digestion or the coagulation of milk done by the lactobacillus, which is the lactic acid bacteria. This bacteria does all of this. Now, have you seen curd being prepared at home?
No.
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 See, next time it is made at home, you see. Okay, you observe. What happens
No.
is that
They just buy store-bought curd almarai. They don't make it at home.
you buy store-bought curd. Mostly we do that only because the store-bought curd is yummier than the house-made. But the homemade curd is like economical also. So now see, during the curd making, what is done is that, like for example, if you're making curd from 1 liters of milk, okay, you take 1 liter of milk, you boil it, like you warm it up, and then into that 1 liter of milk you add inoculum. What is an inoculum? Like whatever curd you already have, you take a big spoonful of it and put it into the milk and mix it thoroughly. Okay, then you leave that milk covered overnight so that the bacteria could multiply. Thereby, when
Yeah.
bacteria will multiply, it will coagulate. It will use the milk as its nutrient source and it will produce curd. Okay,
Ma'am,
so
what
during
temperature should it be kept in?
mostly high temperatures only. Okay, it's like higher than the normal room temperature, like more than 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so during the curd formation, a starter culture a starter culture or inoculum is used. What is inoculum or starter culture? It is a spoonful of curd that is used, because in a spoonful of curd there are millions of bacteria. Millions. Okay. So during the curd formation, now imagine, now whenever you'll go to eat curd, you'll think about, oh no, I'm eating bacteria, I'm eating bacteria, I'm eating bacteria. So during the formation of curd, a starter culture or inoculum, that is your spoonful of curd, is added. Okay.
Ma'am, ma'am, what is that? The water sometimes they write in the curd. It's sour.
The water, yeah,
Yes,
that is
sour
like
water.
it is like a byproduct made during the curdling only, which contains millions of the lactobacillus. Whenever you're writing a scientific name, always remember to underline it. Okay. So it contains millions of lactobacillus, which at suitable temperature, and usually it is made at warmer temperature only. Never in the winters is it easy to make curd. Okay, it's like easier to make curds during the summertime. So, which at suitable or optimum temperature,
Ma'am, will it be prepared if the milk is spoiled?
hmm,
If the milk is spoiled, will it be prepared? The curd.
spoiled milk will not make curd. It will multiply and convert milk into curd. Is it clear? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Now the question comes along, which is better, curd or milk? So now we already know our answer, right? Curd is better. Curd is better and more nutritional or more nutritious as compared to milk. Okay, why? Why? What did I tell you?
The vitamin B1 content is more.
B12.
B12.
As it contains comparatively more vitamin B12. Do you know the scientific name of vitamin B12?
Um,
Cyanocobalamin. Cobalamin. This is the scientific name or more like biological name of vitamin B12. Okay. And the last thing about the curd bacteria, that is lactic acid bacteria, are also found in our stomach. Okay, they are found in our stomach to check the disease causing microorganisms. Okay, to keep control, to keep the disease causing microorganism under control. Is it clear? Any doubts?
Ma'am, so it fights with the disease causing
Yeah.
microorganism.
Also, it helps in the increase of immunity. Clear? So that is all there is to know about curd. Any doubts in
Ma'am,
curd?
is curd
Hmm?
cold in nature? Like,
Yeah, it is. We're talking about its this thing, right? Whether it is suitable to eat in the winters or not.
no, if you're having cold.
It's not. I mean, it is cold. So, like, if a person has cold, then he or she is not advised to consume curd for a while, right? So now the next food item is cheese. But up until now, is everything clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you note down. Then we'll talk about cheese.
Ma'am, done. Ma'am, done. I'm done. I'm done.